Hi, everybody. I'm recording this on July 3rd, 2024. And the attacks by Amazon on Brasscheck begin. Actually, they've already done something pretty nasty to us. We were an Amazon affiliate from literally the first year. I don't know how many years that adds up to, well over 20. And as some of you may know, newer subscribers may not know, we were very energetic promoters of the Robert F. Kennedy Jr. book, The Real Anthony Fauci. And we were doing really well with it. We had our most amazing Amazon sales record ever. We had $3,000 in our affiliate account, which they are supposed to pay monthly. And we got an email from Amazon telling us, you did something wrong. We're not going to tell you exactly what it is. Give us all your email lists, give us all your promotions, give us all your websites and website, URLs, and we'll evaluate the situation. Meanwhile, we're closing your account and we're keeping your affiliate commissions. Yeah, Amazon stole $3,000 from us. I was too busy to be bothered by it. We do a lot around here and don't have time to look back or complain. But they did that to us. Thank you, Jeff Bezos. Now, and I wondered how long it was going to take, they're starting to interfere with our books. Let me see if I can get a copy. If you have a copy of this, you have a genuine collector's item because Amazon has removed it from their store. Interestingly enough, the Kindle is still up while they review uh, our book. Um, their issue was, where did you get this photo? Well, this photo, as we told them nearly a month ago and documented, comes from the NIH. That's the National Institute of Health. Everything those people produce and put out to the public is public domain, but they're sitting on it and they've suspended the sale of the physical copy. The Kindle's still available. Why? Because when they turn that Kindle off, if they do, everybody that ever bought the Kindle will discover that it disappears from their Kindle purchases. It'll just evaporate. How do you like that? One of the many things we deal with. And, again, I have to laugh when people are talking about being canceled. We've been online doing this since 1997. And in 2008, AOL, Yahoo, Mindspring, and Comcast, especially Comcast, started to arbitrarily stop delivering our email. And, we didn't know. And we saw all these subscribers disappear. I mean, a lot of them. And by the time we caught up to it, they'd cut quite a big hole. If you're getting email, if you have an account with one of those companies and you're getting our emails, you are among the lucky. How many subscribers did they pinch from us? In 2008, about 50 grand, 50,000. Now, in 2008, having 50,000 emails, real emails, subscribers, was a pretty big deal, and it was a pretty big hit. So anyway, that's the world of being canceled. Um, so what are we going to do? Well, we're waiting. Of course, they got us on permanent waiting mode. It was supposed to be handled in 2 days, and it was supposed to be handled in 5 days. I wake up this morning, it's still not handled. So if you've got one of these, you've got a collector's item. I really recommend to everybody who's a subscriber, when we put out a new book, grab it before they erase it. We're producing books not for the sake of just producing books, uh, but because we're writing about things nobody else will write about. Right? What the Nurses Saw. Let me show you that book. We got a lot of books. What the Nurses Saw. Still selling very well, by the way. Big real book. The only book in print that talks about the systemic killing of patients in hospitals during COVID. There's a lot of individual books. There's a lot of people out there telling their individual story about their family member who went in relatively healthy and came out in a body bag. And those are important books. But no group has gone through the effort of showing that it was systemic. Now, by the way, you're going to see, and it's already happening, lots of people claiming that they knew this all along. It's no big, hey, we knew it. And you're going to see the hospital protocols is coming up a lot. Where did that start? It started with this book. That's why we put out books, to put important information into the public. Some people support us. Some people just take our ideas and run. Say la vie. That's the way of the world. Our other very important book, the Nuremberg Code. Everybody talks about Nuremberg, and no one explains what it means. This is the only place you can get the Nuremberg Code in print. And we have it in 12 languages in case English is not your first language. And then this most important book, Genocide in Gaza, we put this out in January of 2024. This is the text of the original complaint of the Republic of South Africa against the state of Israel for their genocidal operations in Gaza. Again, you can't get this anywhere. You can find it online, sure, but can you hold it in your hand? Can you read it? Can you underline it? Can you give it to somebody? No, you can't do that, except for this book. Now, they haven't touched any of these other books yet. And then we have that, our really important book. Do I have it? I got to be better organized. Hang on, I'll be right back. This one. This is the beginning. We like to do series, so um, this was part one of a series. This is part two of a series. The part three is going to be the Nuremberg Code and its modern enemies. That's going to be a pretty big book. And together they'll be a series, and it will be a really detailed historical documentation of the utter corruption of the medical industry. It's not just a matter that they jack up the drug prices. That's the least of their sins. So that's a series. This is actually functioning as a series. Right? First, we got to see, hey, people are claiming genocide. Is it real? Yeah, it's real. And we knew back in January. It was obvious what they were doing. Bombing civilians. 2,000 pounds. When they talk about megatons, right? A 2,000 pound conventional munition dropped in a residential area. I mean, imagine a quarter pound of high explosives. Quarter pound, right? We're talking about 2,000 pounds, right? And we know that they're cutting off the uh, relief supplies, killing relief workers, killing doctors, bombing hospitals. We knew all this in January, and it's all in this book. I hope you'll support it. The second book in the series is this. We're trying to wake certain people up. This is the second book, John F. Kennedy, Anti-Imperialist, and it shows that Kennedy, from when he was a senator in Massachusetts, when there was no political advantage to him whatsoever, he was concerned about misbehavior by the United States government, particularly the CIA and other nefarious forces. He was saying to the French, look, you got to get out of Indochina. You got to get out of Algeria. He said he gave long speeches about these things in the 50s from the Senate floor. And he also told Israel, no, you can't have nuclear weapons. And no, you can't be exempt from the foreign lobbyist regulations in the United States. By the way, they did get, after the Kennedys were murdered, they did get nuclear weapons, and they did get still exemption from the foreign lobbying laws. They are alone among all countries with that exemption. If that exemption were taken away, none of this mayhem could have occurred. Who's writing about this? I don't know. I don't see anybody writing about it. We have a third book coming up very soon, called JFK and RFK's Battle Against Zionist Extremism. And that's going to be a very interesting book. And I recommend that when that comes out, you get it, because you're going to see U.S. history in a way you've never seen it before. All this nonsense that Israel's our special friend and we have a special relationship with them and all that. No, that's the result of a bunch of corrupt and corruptible and weak politicians that followed the Kennedys. That's not an American norm or American value. America's never been anti-Israel and supportive of Israel um, in general, but the Kennedys were very clear that the things that Israelis were doing as early as the early 60s were absolutely unacceptable and had to change. So anyway, I think this book program, this book initiative is really important. Many of our subscribers seem to think so because they support the books. I hope if you haven't gotten one or more or all of the books that you have. And what are we going to do to bring this full circle? What are we going to do about this being pulled by Amazon if indeed they do pull it? Right now, they're just playing games with us. I don't know. What we're going to have to do is use one of the other instant publishing venues. Now, the way this works, it's really cool, by the way. In the olden days, if you wanted to do a book like this, you had to print at least 500 of them. And 500 books is a pallet of books. And, dealing with a pallet of anything is a pain. Storing it, moving it, I mean, it ain't fun, right? So with this new world, which is really has some good elements to it, we can send a company. Right now it's Amazon because they're the fastest, the cheapest, the most efficient. We can send them a file and they can print a book on demand. So once the order comes in, they print it and they ship it. So there are other companies that do that. The problem is it's going to take our already meager profits and reduce them to, if not zero, near zero. But we want to keep this book in print because it's really important. So if Amazon proceeds along the path that I expect, which is censoring this book, burning a book, digital burning of books. Thank you very much, Jeff Bezos. We'll just find another company, but what we're going to do is jack up the price. Why? We'd like to get paid for our work. But two, we warned you, we asked you, we pleaded with you, buy this book, buy this book. People had a chance to get it. I think this has been in print a long time, relatively speaking. When did this come out? Well, we didn't say. We were learning how to do this. Still learning. But well over a year, this has been in print. So there was ample opportunity to buy it. So it is now at the moment a collector's item. And if we have to print it through another source and fulfill it through another source, we're going to charge a collector's item price on it. So buy them from the cheap source. And I understand, I understand, Amazon's a major enabler of the genocide in Gaza. I understand that, but so are bullets and so are gasoline. I can't boycott gasoline because I need to drive around. I'm not going to boycott bullets because I like to have some. So, it's kind of a devil's bargain, but I certainly understand. I'm not going to criticize anybody for not buying from those devils, but they are convenient. And it certainly helps us if by using their system. So anyway, to everybody, we're coming up soon on Independence Day. It's just astonishing when you read where we were back then, psychologically, ethically, morally, spiritually, physically, and where we are today. It doesn't mean we can't recover, but we have a lot of work to do to restore some semblance of decency to our government and our country. But that's what we're working on, and you're working on it too. And I want to thank everybody that supports us. It's I feel like every day I should be thanking you, and I don't thank you enough. But today I'm thanking you again. And support the books, talk them up, ask the $1 Million Podcasters to pay attention. We still haven't been on a high-profile podcast. That hasn't happened yet. We have had people go on high-profile podcasts and suddenly discover the things that we've written books about. I don't know how that works, but we have not yet been on one. And that would really blow the lid off. Could you imagine if we were on one of the big podcasts? What would happen with these books? They would explode. And why do we want the books to explode? Because we want the conversation to get started. We wanted people to know what the Nuremberg Code said and defend it. We want people to know that the documentation of the genocide was in place clearly as of January 2024. We want people to know that John F. Kennedy was an anti-imperialist, outspoken on it, not for personal political gain. He put his life at risk doing it. We want everybody to know the details of what a fraud Anthony Fauci is. We want people to know that you better have someone watching your back when you walk into a hospital, especially if you have a COVID diagnosis or some other, whatever new thing they're going to come up with. They use that as a cover to kill people. I don't know how else to put it. It's all explained in this book. We have eyewitnesses. We have the receipts. We have the receipts. It's the most important book. It sells 500 copies a month without any $1 million podcaster support. So imagine what would happen if we were to get some traction out there. Anyway, thank you to everybody for the support. Happy Independence Day. We do have a beautiful country. We live in a beautiful place. We have many wonderful countrymen. Let's defend what we've got, and it all starts with our minds.